Hello, all, and welcome to our discussions on Western political thought. And today we'll be taking up Karl Marx for final discussions. Since we have started with international relations, it's become important for us to know what it stands for. Here are the definitions from renowned authors. So, according to Morgenthau, international politics includes analysis of political relations and problems of peace among nations. So it studies struggle for power among nations. Next definition is given by Norman Padelford and George Lincoln that international politics cover the interactions of state policies within the changing patterns of power relationship. International relation is a subject that is concerned with the state system, the definition given by Palmer and Perkins. Here in the triangle, you can see that there are three mentioned approaches to IR: idealism, realism, Morgenthau's realism. So we'll be discussing these three today. So let's begin with idealism first. Before the emergence of modern scientific approaches to the study of international relations, the traditional and classical approach dominated the field and was used by scholars. And the two topmost popular traditional approach were historical and legal institutional approach, and later developed the idealism and realism, which offered a particular view of international politics. Each offered a holistic single approach to the study of international politics. So idealism, as the name itself suggests, that it stands for improving the course of international relations by elimination of war, hunger, inequality, tyranny, force, suppression, and violence from international relations. That means an establishment of an ideal stage. So, idealism believes in possibility of creating a world that is free from evils by depending upon science, reason, education. Political idealism in international relations represents set of ideas which opposes war and which also advocate reform of international community. How it would come? It would come through the dependence upon moral values and the development of international institutions and international law. Bertrand Russell, he epitomized the optimism of idealism, where he observed a world full of human happiness is not beyond human power to achieve. So this derives strength from general idea of evolutionary progress in society and the spirit of liberal idealism, which was at the back of the American war policies, particularly during the interwar period. So during the interwar years, Wilson, he became the most forceful exponent of this, and the approach which advocated morality as the means of securing desired objective of making world an ideal world. So Columbus and Wolfe have written for explaining the ideas of idealist or idealist approach. For idealist, politics is the art of good governance rather than the art of possible. So main tenets of idealism are here. It accepts essential goodness of human being or human nature. Human welfare and advanced civilization is the concern of all it believes, and the worst feature of international relations is war. War in any form should be eliminated, and it can be eliminated, for which global efforts are required. Those global institutions and practices which leads to war should be eliminated. International institutions which are committed to international peace and security should be developed, and it is necessary to make world free from war, And this can be achieved by dependence upon reason, knowledge, and science, and development of international law and international organizations that are committed to international national peace, security, stability, morality, and order. Now comes the realism. So, realism defines politics as a struggle for power, and it seeks to explain factors as such: power, security, and national interest. A political actor is one who seeks to ensure one's interest as defined in terms of power. Political realism further regards prudence as the single guide in politics and hold, as Columbus and Wolfe have pointed out, that to act rationally is to seek power. That is, to act in one's own interest is to have ability and willingness to control others. Power concept is the one which is dominating here. Realism is based on the assumption that the key actors in international relations are the nation states, and the nation states are always involved in the pursuit of their national interest. Because there is a struggle for power among nations, each nation is trying to secure its national interest by means of its national power. By exercising its national power at the international fora, each nation is trying to secure its desired goal of national interest. So, in idealism, you have seen that man has been a rational creature. He has been a peace lover. He has been a man of reason. Here you see that realism defines human or humanity as by nature sinful and wicked, and man lusts for power and dominance is the chief source of all pervasiveness in human nature. Human instinct for power cannot be eliminated. This is what realism postulates. They further postulate that struggle for power is incontrovertible, and this is the internal reality of international politics. So, power and interest becomes the key word that will come across again and again while discussing realism. So, realism believes that each nation try to secure its national interest defined in terms of national power, and self-preservation is the law that governs the behavior of state at all times. Nation always seek power, demonstrate power, and use power. So, power is the central concept, and if you want to establish peace or preserve peace in the international fora, that can only be done with the management of power devices like balance of power, collective security, world government, diplomacy, alliances, etc. So these devices can bring in the peace. Morgenthau's realism. So he has been an important realist thinker, and to many political scientists like Agassiz, realism and Morgenthauism have been synonymous. He rejects idealist notion of international relations as a drive towards peace. He observes international politics, like all other politics, is a struggle for power. Whatever be the ultimate aim of international politics, power is always the immediate aim. So he adopts power approach in international politics. So Morgenthau has propounded six principles of political realism, or its realist theory, which together constitutes the essence of political realism. So the first principle holds that politics, like society in general, is governed by objective laws that have their roots in human nature. The second principle advocates the study of national interests defined in terms of national power as the way to understand and explain all the phenomena of international politics. As I have said, that he brings in the concept of power relationship and power approach. So, national interest is not a static one, it's changing. Its nature is changing and its scope is also changing. It is dynamic in nature, and that is why it has to be continuously analyzed for analyzing the policies and actions of state. Fourth one is that it realizes the importance of moral principle, but it also asserts that there is difference between the abstract and universal formulations, and these cannot be applied to actions of state. There is a difference between abstract moral aspirations of a nation and universal moral principles. Sixth is that it stands for autonomy of international politics. It states that intellectually, political realism maintains the autonomy of political sphere. So it seeks to build rational and realistic theory of international relations. Let us now take up the multiple choice question part. So first question for today is idealism is a. So it's a classical approach. Before emergence of modern scientific approaches, the classical and traditional approach have been dominating, or you can say were used by scholars. And the two most popular models of traditional approaches were historical and legal institutional. Later developed idealism and realism, which offered particular view of international politics. Next question is, who among the following are the supporter of realist theory or realism? So among the given options, the correct option is A.H. Carr and Kenneth Thompson. The next question asks for who among the following are supporter of idealism. So Woodrow Wilson here is the correct choice. Next question is, who said for idealists politics is the art of good governance rather than the art of possible? So the correct answer here is Columbus and Wolfe. The fifth and the last question for today is, during the interwar period, dash became the forceful exponent of dash. So it Woodrow Wilson and idealism, that Woodrow during the interwar period, Woodrow Wilson became the forceful exponent of idealism. Thank you.